Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to the Tuesday show going live on Friday night.
That was energetic. I like
Thank
it.
you. That's as good as it gets. Yeah.
That's as good as you're going to get tonight.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to sit back now and let you throw all the enthusiasm in from now on.
Sure.
Great.
Here it is.
No, I won't actually, because you already said you're quite tired. But then, hello, CJ. How are you doing?
Hi, sir. I'm doing well. It's Friday. Good. It's Friday. How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Well, this is it. I mean, when you start to hear us coming into your ears on or faces for that matter, on YouTube, then you can eyes. I meant. Then you can be pretty sure that the weekend has started.
It really has. The weekend starts right now.
Right now.
At 4 minutes past 11 UK time in the evening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, we had a good week.
It's been a week. Yeah.
It has been a week.
It's been a week. Yeah.
It's definitely been a week.
So I haven't been working this week. I took the week off and did some studying, and I went to a wedding yesterday. We won't talk too much about it because it's I don't want to bore everybody.
No.
But I went to a wedding yesterday. That was good fun.
Yep.
And that's pretty much me.
Yeah.
You are now up to date.
Up to date. Okay. Fantastic. That's your entire week boiled down to that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Excellent. Now we talked about your drum kit. Have you played your drums at all?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Have you been playing your drums this week?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it for potential viewers of the drumming channel. But can you remember how to play the drums?
Kinda. I'm not very good. Sorry, this level of enthusiasm from you tonight.
A little under the on the spot there, right? I
feel
like you weren't expecting any of those questions about.
Not expecting those questions or the amount of energy you're putting into the camera right now, and it's
sorry.
taking me. I'm like, oh my god, it's like windswept. Ah!
I think the problem is I'm quite tired, so I'm so on the back foot. I'm trying to push myself forward.
No, that's
I'm
fine.
Probably overdoing it slightly, but there we go.
This is good. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I just need to turn you down a little bit in my ears.
Oh,
that's
I'm
all.
so sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
Yeah, all people at home, make sure you turn down as soon as you see me flash up on screen. Or certainly flash the screen. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, no, I wasn't expecting any of those questions, but no. So the electronic drum kit is set up.
Yep.
I have been practicing a little bit. It's more fun than I thought it was going to be on a.
I thought you were going to give him a comparison. Then it's more fun than a cheese toasty, or it's more fun than I don't know, something else. I didn't want to drag okay, more fun than sex or something. I don't know.
I mean, I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
But for
it's
both,
not a fair comparison for you, really, is it?
No.
Yeah, I should have stuck with toasties.
Yeah, maybe. It's it's good fun. I'm enjoying it. But there's not really a lot to say about it. You know, I don't. I know I'm no good. It's been a long time. I wasn't expecting to be able to just pick up a pair of drumsticks and do what I used to do. that was never realistic. But no, it's just it's a hobby at the moment, and it's just me doing something fun for myself.
Okay,
So,
let's go off in a slightly different direction with that.
Sure.
Picking up drumstick. Can you use chopsticks?
I
Do
can
you
use
chopsticks
on the drums. No.
No.
For eating, yes.
Yeah. Are you ever tempted when you're using chopsticks to have a little drum?
No.
Around the table?
No. There's they're not heavy enough.
Oh, okay.
So drumsticks have a certain weight to them. They are much.
Everything does, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Everything has a certain weight.
Well, yeah, but when you're actually drumming, there's part of how you develop your rhythm and things is based on the weight of the sticks. If you just pick up chopsticks and try and do the same thing, you're never gonna succeed.
Right.
It's just not heavy enough. Or you just do it without, you also need things to provide resistance.
Yeah.
Which is why people tap on their steering wheel in the car, or I tap on my desk quite a lot, and it's yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would happily though try eating food with my drumsticks.
Yeah. It'd have to be a bit of rhythm there, even. Yeah.
It's a different experience because there's a lot of weight. Again, it's a massive weight difference, but
yeah. Yeah, it would have to be quite chunky food though as well. I don't think you could get 1 grain of rice with that, could you?
Oh, you can get a grain of rice in there.
Oh, I suppose so.
Obviously not in the hole, but on the tips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us gingerly touch our tips.
Yes. So anyway, so chopsticks. You're a user, are you?
I am a user of chopsticks. Yeah. Are you a user of chopsticks?
No, I am. Yes, yeah. I'm always a fan of using chopsticks. You know what I find the interesting thing about that is that actually I'm less likely to absolutely fill my gut with food if I'm using chopsticks.
I feel like that's
it's just
the point.
a slower process, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the point. It's slower to eat. You can't shove as much on a pair of chopsticks as you can a fork.
Yeah.
And then it takes a lot more effort to eat, and therefore you feel fuller sooner, I guess, or sooner, but after eating less.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop me though.
Yeah.
I'm just like that.
Yeah.
Literally just shovel it in as.
We've got chopsticks in one hand and a spoon in the other.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. But that's the thing. But apparently, I mean, I can't remember who told me, but like, people who are, natural users of chopsticks who use them on a regular basis, they're not there picking up individual grains of rice or whatever. They're literally, putting the ends together and just shoveling rice into their face.
Yeah.
Like literally scooping it in. Because that's the most efficient way of doing it.
It might be the most efficient. It's not necessarily the nicest to watch, actually.
No.
If you're watching a everyday chopstick user doing that, it's all a bit slurpy.
It is, yeah. Especially with noodles and soup and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or soup. Well, they wouldn't be using those for soup, would they?
They would for noodle soup. So they scoop out the noodles and do the whole. Yeah. But then they just drink the juice out of the bowl afterwards.
Absolutely. Why would they not? Why would they not? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Right. Well, actually, it didn't take us very long to get onto food, did it?
No, I blame you for that one this week.
From drumming to food I mean, how else could we have done? Oh, drumsticks. Yeah, we could have talked about chicken drumsticks.
We could have done, yeah.
Yeah. Are you a fan of a drumstick? Are you a fan of a hot wing?
I'm not a fan of chicken on the bone.
Right. Okay.
So, because it's all the gristle and no, I can't be doing that.
I don't think it's gristle. I think it's cartilage. I think that's what you're.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's not nice.
There is one. I'm sure there's people listening and watching that probably understand what I'm identifying here. But there's a little bit of there's a stringy bit of something on a drumstick. On a chicken drumstick. I don't know if it's, turkeys have the same sort of physiognomy. I don't know. But basically,
the point it out for me.
Point it out. Show me on the drumstick where you. Anyway, no. So there's a stringy bit of something, and that's not very good, and that gets in the way. But apart from that, a drumstick is fine. Went into too much detail there, but anyway, okay. Well, I do like a hot wing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a boneless chicken person.
Mhm.
Like, you know, if I go to KFC,
Yeah.
it's a boneless banquet or a boneless feast for me.
Yeah.
I won't do chicken on the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like it. And the same with turkey as well. I just don't like turkey on the bone.
Mm-hmm.
Or anything on the bone really. I think
Mm.
you know ribs are like beef ribs or pork ribs are something else.
Yep.
Or lamb like lamb shank or anything like that. Anything where it's slow cooked enough that actually you just touch it and all the meat just falls off of the bone.
Mm-hmm.
That's something completely different. And I don't know if sorry, I'm having some technical issues here today, folks,
right,
and my
okay.
thing keeps disconnecting, so I don't know if that's gonna affect the video or not.
Well, you're on my screen.
Yeah, no jumping around.
No, you're not jumping around.
Good.
Yeah.
No freezing or anything. That's all right then.
No freezing.
I'll take it.
I'm not a fan of frozen food.
Okay.
Yeah. Just throwing that out there. Just going back to food. I'm not a fan of frozen food. Because the thing is, once it's frozen, I don't like sort of leftovers that get frozen, because then you don't know exactly how long they were there before, and when you should defrost them. They haven't really got a date on them because they're in a bit of old Tupperware. And then it takes too long to defrost, and you think, well, hang on, how long should I use it, and do I use the microwave, and what setting? I'd much rather have the fresh article, fresh off the fresh off the keyboard. We've actually got somebody in the chat. It is Ruby. She's got in the chat and said, "Looks good to me."
Thanks, Ruby.
What we're talking about now?
Me being frozen or not frozen or whatever.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, not hot wings then.
No, I guess not.
Okay.
Unless
Ruby, are you a fan of hot wings? Get in touch.
Unless you are talking about hot wings, Ruby, then by all means, let us know. Sorry.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, sorry. I went very quiet there. You seem to be in a bit of a flow, and.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Delayed chat, says Ruby.
Got it.
So you are slightly delayed. So tell us, do you like it off the bone? And everybody get in the chat and let us know.
Yeah. So I don't own a microwave. That's what I was going to chip in onto that piece of the conversation. I think I've said this before. I don't own a microwave.
Yeah, you have told me that before.
Yeah, it's not I was going to say utensil. It's not an appliance that I own or ever will own unless someone gives one to me. Like my air fryer was given to me, and I've had that now for 3 weeks, and I've used it 0 times.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh, you were quite enthusiastic about that. I thought
I really
you were
wasn't.
Tell me lots of things that you've done in an air fryer.
I really was not enthusiastic about that. It's one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of them. I'm curious. I want to try it, but for everything that I cook and that I eat, I just know how to do it in the oven. I don't want to risk ruining my meal by trying to cook it in an air fryer.
Yeah.
And it's only a single thing, so I'm like, well, what do I cook in there? Because if I cook something in there, even if it's like chips or something, I've still got to cook something else in the oven or on the grill. So I might as well just do it all in the oven.
What gets me is when people talk about the air fryer, they're always saying, "Oh, did you know you could do such and such in the air fryer?" And I think to myself, well, you can do it some other way. Otherwise, we wouldn't know what that is. If you said to me, "Oh, there's an entirely new kind of food or an entirely new kind of recipe that nobody's ever heard of or eaten or thought of before now, and it can be done in the air fryer," that's one thing. But if you're telling me, "Oh, guess what? You can do fish fingers in the air fryer," well, do you know what? I think we've worked that one out before in other appliances. Why are you telling me about air fryers?
Exactly. It's supposed to be healthier, isn't it? And
Well,
but this is the thing. Everyone
you
goes.
can't fry in air.
Well, exactly.
You can't fry things in air.
That's what everyone goes, oh, it's healthier because you don't need any oil or as much oil or whatever. And I'm like, well,
No.
And take fish fingers as the example. Well, I cook them on the grill pan in the oven, so any fat or anything, it drips out anyway.
Yeah.
And gets caught in a foil thing on the bottom of the grill pan.
You
and
don't
then
need fat in fish fingers anyway.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, okay,
Yeah,
sausages then. It's like, okay, everyone go, oh, cook your sausages and bacon in the air fryer. It's a lot healthier. Well, I do it on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put it on the grill pan in the oven, so all the fat drips away anyway. So it's no worse than putting it in the air fryer, and I know exactly how to do it in the oven.
Yeah, I mean that that gives me twitches anyway, because it should be done in a pan. Because there you go. You got the bacon, you got the fat of the bacon cooking the bacon.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's symmetry. It's the way nature intended it to be.
How nature intended.
It is.
Right,
Yeah.
actually, right, okay, hang on. So,
Yep.
well, let me just do the chat bits first. So,
Go ahead.
Ruby's come back to say doesn't have a preference for boneless or bone-in. Okay. Bex, don't, yeah, okay. Too many jokes, not enough time. Bex has said, I think the point of air fryers is that they are a lot cheaper to run than an oven. I mean, my oven.
If you don't own one, then you've got to buy one.
I say my oven doesn't run anywhere. So
yeah,
much like me.
Yeah.
That's a terrible joke. Sorry. You're probably right. They are probably supposed to be more energy efficient than cooking things in the oven, and because I have an electric oven as well, so they are quite power hungry. But I don't expect an air fryer to be any less power hungry than that, because it's still got to heat up inside and cook the thing you're trying to cook. I don't know. I'll have to do a test, and I'll get the metrics, and I shall reveal them at some point.
Excellent. That won't happen.
No.
How many times do we say, I know what we'll do in preparation for another episode? We'll do this bit of research, or we'll do this bit of work, or we'll do a video on this, or something like that. Never happens.
We never do.
No, you can pretty much guarantee we're going to do nothing between right now and 11 o'clock on Friday next week.
Exactly. So anyway, I was going to go into a story about bacon. Because you mentioned bacon and frying bacon.
Sit back for your story.
So I mean, bacon. I've discovered bacon is actually incredibly divisive. So what is your preference on bacon, Ted?
To eat it,
or just the type of bacon? Back bacon, streaky bacon, smoked, unsmoked.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't particularly like smoked.
Okay.
But I'm the same when it comes to cheese. When it comes to that.
Okay, we're talking about bacon. We'll come on to cheese.
Yeah, I know, but I'm adding a little bit more of extra colour there.
Right.
It's not it's the smoked thing. I think I don't like. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So unsmoked and ideally streaky. Because if we ever want nice bacon, like, for example, if it's a treat, if we're wrapping it around bacon or we're sticking it over the top of a turkey, to make something taste better, we use streaky bacon.
It's got to be streaky, yeah.
But then you get up in the morning or you go somewhere and say, I'll have a bacon sandwich, and they give you back bacon.
Yep.
What's your thoughts?
It's just not right. So I'm a streaky smoked bacon person. I like smoked bacon. But I discovered, so I went to Scotland a few weeks ago for work, and met up with some colleagues up there, and one of them was exactly on the same page as me, streaky smoked bacon, absolutely perfect. The other person was unsmoked back bacon, and the first colleague and I just kind of looked at each other and were just like, some people genuinely just want to see the world burn, don't they? Just who has unsmoked back bacon? In the comments, let us know. Smoked or unsmoked, streaky, not streaky. I guess for our American friends, they just streaky bacon you just call bacon, and back bacon you call Canadian bacon.
Really?
Yeah. And then smoked or unsmoked is, I don't actually know what happens out there.
Yeah.
Ruby's been back in the chat and said, back to bacon, I see. We see what you did there. Back to bacon.
Back to bacon. Yeah. Guess who's back? Yeah.
Guess who's back? I'm smoked streaky bacon. Yeah. Is definitely for me. And that was the end of the story.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a cool story. How do you like your bacon? Get in touch, get in the chat, and let us know. I imagine with the American brethren or what's the American
friends, colleagues, audience?
No, I was just trying to think of the female equivalent of brethren.
I'm pretty sure it's just brethren.
No, it can't be brethren when it's no.
Red bin.
Brethren implies brothers, so therefore it would be
sizzling.
Sizzling. Back to bacon.
Yep.
Hey. How do you like your bacon? Are you an American? Do you have streaky bacon only? Are you British and you suffer? Well, the problem is you don't get an awful lot of variety. It's usually just back bacon, which I see on the shelves.
No. See, I found the trick with streaky bacon at Tesco.
Oh yeah.
Other supermarkets available. But
Mhm.
you buy Tesco's own streaky bacon, you get 14 strips in a pack.
Yep.
£2.75 per pack.
Right.
Okay.
How does that compare with
I don't know about back bacon, but
right.
the story is, so you've got that. So that's Tesco's own. But if you buy the Tesco Finest range, which is basically the same thing, just in nicer packaging, you get 16 rashers in a pack. And if you are a club card holder, which I am, you get two packs for £5, which means each pack is actually £2.50 each. So you get 2 extra rashers for 25p less if you buy the Finest. So there you go. I found the hack. Found it.
Okay.
And it is actually slightly nicer than their regular stuff. I'll be honest. It is quite nice. I love streaky bacon.
Okay.
And it's got to be crispy as well.
Mm-hmm.
But even if I have to have back bacon as part of an all-day breakfast or a breakfast roll or something from a van, I do ask them to try and make it crispy.
Yeah,
I love
it's not easy actually. It's a lot
bacon's
easier
really
to get
hard.
crispy bacon with proper bacon, streaky bacon. Yeah,
It's easy with streaky
easier.
bacon.
Yeah.
Very easy. Back bacon is really difficult to get crispy.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I absolutely love the way in which you mentioned your club card. Very proudly, I'm a club card member, as if it's like some gold platinum Amex or something.
It's not worth the plastic it's printed on anymore.
No.
It just isn't.
Bex is back in the chat. She said, smoked back bacon is my preference. Why back? Unless with pancakes, then I like streaky bacon with maple syrup.
Yeah, see, maple bacon pancakes. Has to be streaky bacon.
I don't think I ever tried that. I'm not sure about that. The idea of having bacon and syrup.
Surprisingly, but my preference and my taste, surprisingly good. Because I was absolutely on the same plane as you on that one. It's like you've got streaky bacon on pancake or streaky bacon anything. I don't want to spoil that taste with maple syrup or any kind of syrup. But actually, it's not too bad. And I couldn't imagine eating the pancakes without the maple syrup either.
Yeah.
Whereas it's just very dry. And you're basically relying on any juices left over from the bacon to moisten it a little bit. But no, maple bacon pancakes are pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has to be streaky bacon. Has to be streaky bacon.
Yeah.
I can't think of a scenario where streaky bacon doesn't apply. Like I say, when I cook
In
like
life generally,
exactly,
to do with breakfast.
Exactly. But if I make like a breakfast wrap, I wrap the sausages in bacon. And then again, just throw them all in the oven on the grill pan for half an hour. I've got cooked sausages, crispy bacon around the outside. Yeah. A little bit of ketchup in the wrap, bit of cheese, roll it up, straight in my face. Lovely.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I like a nice bacon wrapped sausage.
Yeah. It's funny. Every episode, nearly every episode, practically every episode, I end up at some point thinking, I really want some bacon. We always manage to get onto it, don't we?
Well, in preparation for tomorrow morning, I did get some sausages and bacon out the freezer.
Right.
And they are currently defrosting in my sink. So, so when the show's over, I'll go put them in the fridge, and then make breakfast wraps in the morning.
Fantastic.
Yeah, air fryer makes good crispy back bacon. But I don't buy back bacon, so.
Yeah.
So that was Bex in the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Air fryer. I don't. It's weird. I mean, it probably does. And this is the thing with the air fryer. It's probably a really good tool, and I just need to stop being a wuss about it and just get on with it. But I'm just like, I know how to cook. I don't need this extra appliance.
Yeah.
And you're probably all thinking, well, then why do you have it? I was like, it was just given to me by a friend. I'm not going to say no. You know, or else it was just going to end up in the bin, and that's just a waste. Now it can just gather dust on the side of my kitchen counter.
when we talked about it last time, we were talking about having a car air fryer.
Yes.
Maybe that should go in the car then.
Yeah. Maybe it
should go in the car. Yeah.
What I'll also do is put a hot plate on top of the engine, so I can just put bacon, my streaky bacon, on there and cook it while I'm driving to wherever I'm going.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. Ruby's been back in the chat and said, "I don't like super crispy bacon, so I'm good without it." What? Good without it being super crispy, or good without bacon?
No one's good without bacon.
No, that worries me slightly. Get back in the chat and make yourself entirely clear there, please.
Yeah, elaborate.
Yeah. So the air fryer. Oh, good without the air fryer. Gotcha.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, I don't imagine. Oh, excuse me. Who's Ben? Or you mean Bex? Yeah, there you go, Bex. Okay. Like Ben's comment. Who's Ben? I'm looking at the comments going, I don't see a Ben.
Yeah. Ben, get in touch if you're listening.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, right. Sorry, my thing just did the thing again, and it did affect the stream that time. I saw it.
Oh right, okay.
Anyway, what was I saying? I don't think you could do streaky bacon or like American style bacon in an air fryer anyway. I don't think it would come out quite the same.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't think it will come out the same.
Okay. Well, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that comment was completely unfounded. I have no evidence to back it up either way.
Yeah. Do the research. Video it. And then we'll have a little, roll VT. And we'll see how it actually went.
Sure.
What was I going to? Oh, I'm just going to slag off back bacon for a moment, because I tell you what I don't like about it. I kind of like the bacon, but there's that sort of disc of not so great bacon,
right?
And sometimes that becomes detached. But that's the worst bit of it. The best bit of it is the bit that runs around the side.
Oh, you mean like the bacon medallions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not the same. It's
kind of tough and chewy and...
Yeah, it's the little dangly bit on the bottom that's the best bit.
Yeah, it's the same with chops as well.
Yeah.
Like pork chops and things like that. That's the best bit.
Yeah, that is the best bit, 100%.
Bex is back in the chat. Man at CNA. No, CJ's homework this week is to try it.
I can categorically guarantee that will not happen.
Yeah.
Because as Ted said earlier on, we say this all the time. We'll do this week and we'll report back next week, and we never do.
Yeah. Although this thing does involve cooking some streaky bacon.
It really does.
We should be down your alley.
All right, fine. I will. Okay, I will. I'll cook my sausage and bacon in the air fryer in the morning.
Okay.
I've just got to research because again, actually no, I figured it out. 'Cause it's anxiety. I'm anxious because I don't know how long to cook it for and at what temperature.
Yeah.
Whereas when I cook it in the oven, 180 for 30 minutes, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it is perfect every time. Like guaranteed, it's going to be great. Because I don't know how to do it in an air fryer. I'm anxious about it.
Yeah, and also anxious about ruining the food.
Exactly.
Because you want that food. You want that. I don't know how far wrong can you go with streaky bacon? It's just a bit crispy, a bit more crispy.
Yeah, but what if it's not crispy? What if it comes out not crispy?
Well, crisp it up a bit. Do it a bit more.
Do it a bit more. But then what if it's one of them where it just never does? Well, I don't know how an air fryer works. Does it ever make bacon crispy? I mean, I know there's been a comment to say it does.
I mean, the whole idea is ridiculous because you can't fry in air. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Oh, can't go wrong. Everything goes on for 10 minutes at 180. Not sure that's correct, but okay. So when I'm blowing chunks next week because I've cooked chicken for 10 minutes at 180 and I've got salmonella, I know who to come to.
So that's what Chinese restaurants do. They use an oven at 180 for everything because whenever you order Chinese over the phone, they say, 10 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Notice I managed to do that without the accent.
Yeah,
I was very careful.
I'd say very good. Yeah, well done. But I see there's a lot of things like that where I think there's a lot of almost or like a lot of preparation involved.
Yeah.
So they'll cook things beforehand and then almost reheat it in the wok.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that they'll have it all cooked and then all they've got to do is put it in the wok, put the rice in, put the sauce in, whatever it is that they're making, the noodles, whatever, and almost just reheating it, which is why you should never reheat Chinese food.
Yeah.
That was always something I got told from a very young age: never reheat Chinese food. And I think that's part of it is because they have basically already reheated it.
Right. Okay.
To then sell it to you or serve it, you know, whatever.
I think generally the idea. Well, there's two things there. One, rice. So we're. I think this is mostly a Caucasian thing, being afraid of reheating rice. I think Chinese people and other Asian people are more than happy to reheat rice. It's just we're afraid. I mean, we've got this idea in our heads. The same with eggs. We're very cautious with eggs because you think, oh, salmonella. Oh, what's her face? Who was the politician who came up with the eggs thing?
Oh.
I've forgotten. Had an affair with John Major. Get in the comments. Anyway, so
where's David? He'll know.
What am I talking? Oh yeah. So David, rice. Come back to us. We need somebody googling in the background.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is the bean sprouts. Now, apparently, bean sprouts are a big issue when it comes to making you sick, and they contain something, or they're a breeding ground for something. So you've got to be very careful with those. Apparently.
Okay.
So I hear.
I mean, so when I've cooked rice myself and eggs, and made and let's just put the two together. I've made egg fried rice at home.
Yep.
And then I've put some in a tub and taken it to work with me. I've then reheated it in a microwave and it's been fine. I've never had a problem with it. I think the thing from the Chinese restaurant or the Chinese takeaway is that I think somebody said to me at one point they already reheat it, so you shouldn't reheat it a second time or something like that. Like I say, I don't know if that is 100% correct or not.
Yeah.
But it's just put me off the idea of reheating Chinese, like a Chinese takeaway food or any takeaway food, because you don't really know what they've done with it. You just know that.
You don't.
Well, I mean, you don't know what they've done with it anyway.
Well, I think we're just a bit overcautious when it comes to these things. I mean, bearing in mind, the rice you get, the microwave rice.
Yeah.
You put in for 2 minutes. That doesn't even need. It doesn't need to be cooked. It's already cooked. All you're doing is heating it up again.
Yeah, just heating it. Yeah.
So there you go. That's a classic example of reheating rice.
I've just received.
That's what you're supposed to do. But you get a lot of misinformation when it comes to food safety. People are always saying, "Oh no, you got to do this and you got to do that," and other people say you got to do the absolute opposite. One of the classic ones is washing chicken.
What?
People say you got to wash.
Never wash chicken.
Some people say you wash your chicken, and other people say, "Don't be ridiculous. Of course you don't wash your chicken. It's ridiculous. You're going to cook the damn thing." Well, I agree with those people. If you wash your chicken, then if it's got any salmonella or anything wrong with it, all you're doing is spreading it everywhere with the water.
I was going to say, all you're doing is spreading any bacteria around the water, with the water, into your sink.
Yeah.
And
do you wash
anything
your chicken? Get in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. I've just received a DM from Ruby about air frying bacon. Bacon is my go-to this is an article. Bacon's my go-to protein choice, blah, blah, blah. And it's a whole thing. I haven't actually read it yet, so I don't really know if this is actually worthwhile or not. Slice. Here we go. Air fry bacon at 360 Fahrenheit. Someone tell me what that is in real money. For 7 to 9 minutes for regular cut bacon, or 12 to 14 minutes for thick cut bacon. We use thick cut bacon in this recipe, so cook it for 13 minutes. Okay. So yeah, there you go. Whatever 360 is in Celsius. Or centigrade if you're that retro. Should we figure out what it is? Where's my converter?
Yeah.
Temperature.
So I'm not a fan of calculating weights and distances and things like that. I prefer to do things by eye. So if I can do it in a pot or do it on the hob, and that's the way ahead. Like baking's completely out for me because there's too much that could go wrong. Unless it's something like what do you call them? Pancakes.
Yeah.
There's like a mug of that and a couple of eggs, bish bash bosh.
I'm trying to think if I've ever baked anything, like baked a cake or anything. I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever baked a cake.
Yeah.
I've baked other things, like potatoes.
Yeah.
I baked a lasagna once.
Maybe we should do that. We should have the big Tuesday bake-off, and then we'll both bake something, record the process, and then we'll bring it into the show. That's another thing that won't get done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
True story. And just to confirm, 360 Fahrenheit is 182 Celsius. So what Bex was saying there is correct, and just do everything at 180. And I can see Ruby's just posted in the comments to say, yeah, 180 is correct.
Oh, there you go.
Food is too processed as it is. Reheated food is mostly nasty. Yep, I agree with that. It was one of so this brings us back to like remember when we were talking about slow cookers, and my stepdad bought a slow cooker once, and all we had was food in the slow cooker for months. Once a week for 3 days, we'd have some kind of casserole or stew and things like that, and that wasn't too bad. But again, he'd have to add water to it every so often, just because it would dry out. Because it's just in the slow cooker for 3 days straight. Just like, Jesus Christ. Boil it until you can drink it through a straw. Yeah, I feel like that's the methodology there.
I tell you, I know what we were talking about the other day, or last week or whatever it was. It was dumplings.
Yep.
Because you were talking about having a dumpling, only being issued with one dumpling.
Yeah, I was only issued one dumpling for that 3 day period.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even make new dumplings to go in the next day.
And you were bitter about that.
Very bitter.
And I was bitter on your behalf. I've been thinking about that ever since. And I was thinking, that's just not fair. Why would you give somebody one dumpling?
Exactly. Dumpling's the best part of a casserole or a stew.
It's almost worse than having no dumplings. If you have no dumplings, then you haven't even got the, it's not even the promise of a dumpling. But when you've got one dumpling, it's like, well, there should be 2 or 3 at least.
Is if you don't even have one dumpling, you just go, okay, I have a bowl of soup.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as soon as you introduce a dumpling, that soup becomes a stew.
Yeah.
But then you expect more dumplings.
Yeah.
Or at least I do.
Yeah. I had a small piece of dumpling today, actually. Yeah. It's not a joke. I actually had a proper dumpling from a stew.
Okay.
Anyway, Bex is back in the chat asking, CJ, what was the food at the wedding you went to? That's a good question.
That was a good question. So before the wedding breakfast, as they call it, there were people walking around giving out pigs in blankets, which were okay. I was happy to fill up on those.
Was that your idea?
No.
Oh.
It was not my idea.
Great minds think alike, then.
I say it was a great idea, though. Literally, they keep coming to me, but would you like a... I was like, yes, I will. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And they were on little cocktail sticks with a little red love heart on the top, and it was quite cute. I'll give them that. But yeah, literally, like every 2 minutes, someone else is coming around with a. Would you like it? Yes, I'd love a pig in blanket. Thank you very much. And then
it's that last ditch attempt to make sure that you have no vegans at your function.
It almost is, yeah. Or if someone has listed themselves as vegan, you can just be like, you're not a vegan.
Got you.
Yep, caught out. Right, then the starter was some kind of meatball / falafel thing. It tasted like a meatball with some Indian spices in there.
Yeah.
Which was quite nice. Yeah, quite enjoyed that. But before that came around, someone came around and issued everybody with a bread roll of some shape or description. They were all different. Right. And the one that landed on mine looked like a long brown turd.
Right.
It was literally like long and thin, and it was brown.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. But yeah, so we had this meatball falafel thing. Then the main course was like a slow-cooked lamb. Is it lamb? No, it was pork. Sorry, it was like a pork belly thing with mashed potato.
Nice.
It was really, really, really tasty.
Yeah.
And then there was a glass of limoncello with a meringue thing on a stick that you dip into the limoncello and eat that.
Yep.
That was quite nice. The faces people were pulling when they were drinking the limoncello, though, confused me. I was like, it's not that strong.
Mm-hmm.
I love limoncello. Limoncello's amazing. And then for dessert, we had, I think was it apple and rhubarb crumble?
Right.
It was a crumble when there was apple in it, but I think there was rhubarb in there as well.
Yeah.
Either way, it was, again, very tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. That was and then about an hour after that, they started serving sausage rolls and bacon rolls.
Right.
They just laid them out, so I guess where I hung out.
Yeah.
Guess,
kitchen door.
Exactly. guess just scooping them into my jacket as they're walking past. And then of course
one for me, one for later. One for me, one for later.
Exactly. Yeah. And then of course there was wedding cake as well, which is quite nice.
Oh, of course, yeah.
They had a choice of chocolate or lemon, which was actually really nice. And I brought a load home as well.
Yeah.
Because they were giving it away. They were like, here, have some chocolate. I was like, okay, thank you very much. I'll bring this home with me. So yeah, there you go. That was.
Do you know what I had the other day? Actually, this is a bit of a throwback when it comes to food. Well, actually, I'll tell you. I won't say which day, and I won't say how long ago the first one was. But I recently had a birthday, and in response to that, I was pleasantly surprised with some party food, of which included some jelly and ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'll tell you what, that's interesting, because if you go to like small people, children's birthday parties these days, you never get that. You never get good stuff like that, or sausage rolls or things like that. They're all having carrot sticks and hummus and and stuff like that instead.
I want cocktail sausages.
Yeah.
If I go to a party, it doesn't even have to be a kids' party. Any party. I want there to be cocktail sausages and the cheese and pineapple cubes on a stick as well.
Yeah. All stuck in a thing, make it look like a hedgehog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What is it? Half an orange or something?
It's half an orange.
You poke it in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't want carrots. I don't want apple slices. Knob off. Proper party food, please.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the party food that kids have these days is the sort of thing that you'd have, if you like, we're going to provide snacks at the meeting of Weight Watchers. That's the sort of thing. So no, we don't want that. Yeah, I like the old stuff. I like things like that, like blancmange. Blancmange is good. We talked about blancmange before, haven't we?
I was gonna say, and I feel it deserves a rehash as well.
It certainly does deserve a rehash.
Yeah, it's. I never had blancmange until we moved up north from London. Because my stepdad loves it, and we'd never had it up to that point. And I was fascinated by it. And at first, you're just like, what is this weird sloppy mess that tastes funny? And then after a while, you just kind of get used to it. You're just like, it's just another version. It's like a mousse, isn't it? It's like that kind of texture. But yeah, I'm still on the fence about it. It's one of them. If someone puts it in front of me, I'll eat it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to find it. That's where I sit with blancmange. Yeah. Same with most vegetables and mushrooms. Mushrooms. I'll actively avoid mushrooms. Like if I get the option to say, please don't put mushrooms on my food, that's exactly what I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
because there's not much room on the plate.
Correct. Well, on Wednesday night, I had my parents and I went out for dinner because I stayed at my parents' house the night before the wedding, and we went after, and I had an all-day breakfast, but it came with mushrooms, and I actually said because it's one of those, you have to order it through the app. You don't just. It's annoying. I'm just like, I want a waitress to come to my table to take my order. That's what I want. I don't want to do things on my phone. We already have a problem with people using phones in public, in social settings anyway. Anyway, that's by the by. That's a whole other rant.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sure we'll come to it.
I'm sure we will. But I said, I was just like, I said to, because my mum was ordering, and I said, do you have an option there to remove the mushrooms? She was like, oh, no, I can't see it. I was like, well, okay. I was like, I'm happy to go to the bar and put the order in. And she was like, no, you just give the mushrooms to me. I'm like, okay, fine. That suits me. I don't even want anything to replace it. Just, take them off my plate, please.
Yeah.
That was an annoying
That's the
all-day
obvious
breakfast.
answer. Obviously, get the mushrooms and give me the mushrooms.
Yeah.
That would be my advice.
Exactly. But that was it was an okay breakfast, but the beans were touching the sausage.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy.
Oh God.
I wasn't happy. Stupid baked beans.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Ruby's come in the chat. Okay, well that kind of explains to me what it is. Oh, blancmange. Honestly, just Google it. Google blancmange.
If you can spell it, you can Google it.
BLAMANGE. Blah man GE.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Because I cannot explain. I don't know what it is. It's like I say, it's just like mousse.
Yeah.
Like I say, that kind of texture, but it just tastes funny. Is it butterscotch? Blancmange?
No, it's not. I think it's sort of. I don't know. Is it kind of vanilla or is it?
Is it vanilla?
It's got like a pod or something in it or something. I don't know.
Maybe it is vanilla.
Google it for us and let us know by the end of the show.
Yeah, who, me or the audience?
The audience, not us.
We're
busy. We're busy doing this.
Isn't it like jelly made with milk? I guess kinda, but it doesn't have that. But I think because it's made with milk, it doesn't have that same texture as jelly.
Yeah,
it's a completely different texture, and it's very strange if you're not used to it, or if it's not something you grew up with. You might not like it.
Yeah.
Like being introduced to mushrooms for the first time. When you were grown up. If you haven't grown up with mushrooms and you then suddenly eat them as an adult, you're going to be like, what the hell is this slimy nonsense? Yeah. And same with many foods as well. We're all products of the environment we grow up in. I'm not a fan of seafood. We didn't eat a lot of seafood when I was a kid, and then when I tried it, I did not like it.
Yeah.
Calamari. I hate calamari because when I first tried it, I thought it was an onion ring.
Right.
And because it wasn't an onion ring, I was disgusted and I've never eaten them since. I've never eaten calamari since.
Okay. I'll tell you what, something else that might throw you off. A pineapple fritter. Do you like a pineapple fritter?
I only ever had it once and it wasn't great. I wasn't overly impressed by it. Like anything, it's actually quite like a spam fritter.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Don't ask me why I like it. Well, I guess it's because it's meat. It's all processed meat, and I'm happy with it. Yeah. Well, if you want to call it meat.
Yeah.
Spam fritter. Yeah,
right,
sorry.
okay.
It's like no. I caught a comment in the corner of my eye, and it completely threw off my entire train of thought.
What was in the corner of your eye?
A comment in the chat. Yeah, it's Beck saying, "Isn't the butterscotch mousse you're talking about Angel Delight?" And yes, that's what I was thinking of, the butterscotch thing. Yeah. But yeah, spam fritters. Yeah, I had one once, and actually I was quite pleased with it. I wasn't disgusted. Then I had a second one, on the next attempt at having pie and chips or whatever. I bought, and it wasn't the same, and I just went, no, I don't actually like that. Pineapple fritter I tried. Apple fritters are quite nice.
Ooh, never had one of those.
A deep fried Mars bar is quite nice, and I guess you could call that a Mars bar fritter if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
It's basically, a fritter is basically battered and deep fried something.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
I've seen that in Scotland, some places they do battered haggis. Have you ever tried that? Because you go to Scotland every now and again.
I have not tried a deep fried haggis. I want to next time I go. I'll tell you one thing I did have though. Actually, while we were up there, it was a black pudding Scotch egg. Now we've spoken about Scotch eggs on the show before, and I even showed one on the show because I bought one. But this one has between the sausage meat and the egg is a layer of Stornoway black pudding. So like proper black pudding, not this stuff you get in a sausage and you slice it and it comes out solid. This is the stuff that you put your fork in it and it falls apart.
Yep.
Stornoway black pudding, and that was gorgeous. That was so nice. So I'm looking forward to maybe having some of that again. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a deep fried haggis. There is also a place in Edinburgh, I think, that will do a deep fried Christmas dinner. I think I read that out on the radio show once years ago.
Yeah.
Talking about that. Yeah, literally, you can get deep fried anything if you look hard enough. Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Why
Yeah,
not?
or battered anything. I guess in the UK here we call it battered, don't we? When I say deep fried, it's generally an Americanism.
Yeah, covered in batter and deep fry. Well, you can do it with ice cream as well, can't you?
You can, yeah.
And you can also bake ice cream. So you can do that. What's it called? Baked Alaska.
Baked Alaska, yeah.
Yeah.
I say, isn't ice cream baked anyway before it's frozen? Or did I make that up?
I think you made that up.
Okay.
I think that's bollocks.
Yeah. Fair enough. Ruby's been back in the comments. I'll have to catch the rest of your podcast later, guys. Have a great rest of your night, morning, day, tomorrow. Yeah, see you later. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye.
Lightweight.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? I think one of our problems might be when it comes to retention of our wonderful audience is when we do start talking about food, people get peckish and decide to go off to the kitchen.
Well, Ruby just sent me a message just to say going to get food.
I hit the nail firmly on the head there.
You really did.
I really did. But I tell you what, one thing with black pudding I do like is just a black pudding. So you get a whole black pudding and boil it up and then cut that sucker open and eat that with some mustard, proper English mustard.
Never tried it with mustard. I'm not a huge mustard person.
Actually, Dijon works quite well as well. But yeah, nice bit of black pudding, and that's the main event. Maybe with a bit of toast if you need something to go with it.
Black pudding on toast.
Yeah.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah. Anyway, Bex has come up with a very interesting question, which is in fact about questions. She says, "Is there a question for the show today, or is it just food?"
Well, you've just asked the question for the show for today.
Yeah. Is it just food?
Yes.
Yes. Is it? I don't know. It's one of these things. It's like, what's the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? And then, once we know what the answer is, 42, by the way, then we think, well, hang on, what? Yes, but what's the question? Well, I tell you what is the question? The question is, if the answer's food, the question is, why are we so big and round? And the answer's food.
Yeah, it's definitely why I'm.
Question. Yeah.
Definitely why I'm 6'1" around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Why is the answer to the meaning of life, the universe, and everything in it 42? So I've heard this many times, and I don't understand. It's like you ask a question like, I mean, it's like saying, you know, why do birds fly? And someone just went 12. What? What is that? What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. I'd have to look this up again. But I remember hearing or listening or something, or maybe I made it. Maybe this was a dream. But I believe that there was something to do with 42 being the 42nd key on a keyboard. So the keys have got a designation. Because if you imagine, it's not just there aren't just letters and numbers. There's also enter and shift and all that sort of thing. But the 42nd key, this might be bollocks, by the way, but the 42nd key actually corresponds to what's it called, like copy,
right,
or something, copy or paste or something like that.
Okay.
And therefore it represents reproduction, because that is in effect the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, and that's to reproduce.
That's an interesting take on it. I just Googled it.
Yeah.
The meaning of 42 is a joke from Douglas Adams' novel, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where it's presented as the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. In the story, the true meaning of 42 is to live well and always remember your towel. There you go.
Yeah, well,
That was an AI enhanced summary, by the way. Thanks, Bing or Copilot. I appreciate that. That's
Well done.
yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't say anything about reproduction then, or keyboards.
No.
Well, there you go. There was obviously absolute bunch of arse, but but the thing is, it depends on your source. You see, the thing is, you could Google that. You could Google it. Even you've just binged that. Maybe Google would come up with something else entirely. Well, anyway, if you're actually in the chat and you haven't already disappeared off to go and get some food, like some of you have, then perhaps if you have got an alternative big question for the Tuesday show live on a Friday night, then let us have your questions and we'll answer it.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be.
Right after this break.
Hey, we've already covered the life, the universe, and everything. So, easy.
I mean, that's it. We're done, right?
Yeah.
We've done it.
Yeah. I think we've covered absolutely everything you could possibly want. Oh, fastest land animal is a cheetah. Yeah.
Ignore what's on your screen right now, by the way, because.
Yeah, I just spotted that.
Yeah, I accidentally pressed the button.
What was going on?
Sorry.
Yeah. That went weird.
It wouldn't be the Tuesday show without me doing something stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was hovering my finger over it because that felt like a nice break point, and I accidentally pressed the button. So my finger's no longer hovering over that button.
Okay. Are you still hovering for a break?
I mean,
was that a little hint that you need to go?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've drunk like 2 bottles of iced tea and an energy drink, so yeah.
I see. All right. Now listen, chat. We know you're there. We know you're not very active. We need you to get more active. I just asked a very clear question. Hang on. Yeah, I've asked a question, asking you for a question. What should be the big question of the night? You get in touch and give us your questions. The chat's not going anywhere. You can keep prattling on, asking us questions. We're going to go on a break. It's going to be a very short break.
It will be very short.
Back. We will be right back.
Oh, and we're back.
Yeah, we're back in the room.
Yeah. You see that expert fade out there? That was amazing.
Yeah, superb. Fade out, fade back in, and we're back. So I can see the little chat box has gone absolutely wild with great question ideas. I just don't even know where to start. So there's still a little bit of chance for you to get your ideas in.
Yep.
But I tell you what, I did allude to the fact that I had a birthday recently, and one of the presents that I got, which I really rather appreciated, actually it was from my son, who gave me this. Now, he's very aware of the fact that not only have we done a few episodes where we just told a load of dad jokes, but also, obviously, because I'm a dad, I tell a lot of jokes, and most of them are dad jokes. So he gave me this thing, right? It's fantastic. This is like a little buzzer, but it basically tells a joke.
Okay.
So whenever you want a joke, you just hit the button and it'll play a joke.
Bring it more into the center of the frame because it was a bit out of frame there.
I'll bring it right into the center of the frame, which I have to anyway. I would have to have it near the mic. Now this is where your ears might get blown off, but I'm going to press it and see what kind of a joke we end up with.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you call a reluctant potato? A hesitator.
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely, and probably around about my sort of level.
Yeah.
I tell you what, somebody was talking about levels of humor, and somebody said, "Oh, this is right in your level." I wasn't sure whether to be insulted or not, and I can't now remember what it was. I'm trying to think what it was. Oh, that's a terrible story. I can't remember what it was now. But it was something very very, very childlike. Yeah.
Okay.
If it was you and you're listening, then get in the chat and let us know. All right, let's try another one.
Hit us with another one.
I was having dinner with my boss, and his wife said, "How many potatoes would you like?" I said, "Oh, I'll just have one, please." She said, "It's okay, you don't have to be polite." I said, "All right, I'll just have one then, you stupid cow."
I'm gonna try and remember that for if someone ever says that to me. You don't have to be polite. All right, I'll have one then, you twat.
Oh, what a classic!
I feel like though with my friendship group, I'd have to feed that one in. And I'd be like, oh, I'll have one, and they go, be like, what? I'll be like, oh, and I'd have to say, I'm just trying to be polite, and they'd have to be like, you don't need to do that, and then I'd be like, okay, one then, you twat.
Yeah. You'd have to try and give them the line because they wouldn't necessarily say, "Oh, be polite."
Yeah,
that's the worst thing when people don't give you the feeder lines. You've got an idea of a great joke, but they just don't say the right thing.
Life is just a series of missed opportunities.
Yeah,
with all of it, because you just think. The number of times, like in hindsight, you just think that would have been a great joke, a brilliant gag to pull on someone if they'd only just said this. And like it's just all missed opportunity, which is a real shame.
Yeah. But when it does happen, when you get it right, it's worth it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%
Should we have another joke?
Sure.
Let's see what we're getting at. They all seem to be potato related, but
I was gonna say, yeah.
Let's see if we get something different.
What did Jay-Z call his wife before they got married? Fiancé.
Oh, it's awful.
Beyonce. Okay.
Right, I was reading something about Kanye West the other day.
Oh yeah.
And apparently he's now legally changed his name to just
Ye.
Ye.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Ye.
Ye. Yeah.
What the fuck?
That was a long time ago. You're right. Just on the
I'm at the bleeding edge of the
nowhere
news.
near the pulse.
No, I'm at the bleeding edge of the news cycle. That's where I am. Well, okay, so I only found out the other day, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And why wasn't? Oh, that's right, because I was watching the Cleveland show.
Oh yeah.
On Disney Plus. It's not as good as Family Guy. I think everyone knows that. And Kanye, well, they had a character called Kenny West, played by Kanye West. And then I was looking into it, and I was like, and it just said, when I found the character on IMDb, it just said Ye or Ye, so I thought it was Ye, and I was like, what? And then I kind of clicked into it, and then it went Kanye Ye West. And I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then I fell into this rabbit hole of figuring it all out. But yeah, literally went through the courts and legally changed his name to Ye. Ugh. Why? Some people have got too much time and money.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
There we go. Let's have another one.
When we make pizza, it's my wife's job to put the cheese on. She's the greatest.
I mean, as cheese jokes go, that one's not bad.
Yeah.
That one isn't bad.
Yeah.
She's the greatest. Anyway, come on, chat. What's the big question of the day? Maybe it's potato related. Why do people say potato? What's a potato?
A potato is nothing.
So why even say it?
I think it's a play on tomato.
Because that makes sense.
Pronounce that differently.
Yeah,
that's basically all it is.
Yeah, because Americans say tomato and we say tomato.
Yeah.
But potato means nothing.
Yeah. Now, chat's not given us any questions, but chat has provided an answer to a question.
Yeah.
Bex has said, "Didn't I say that about your humour level about something on the Cat on a Hat podcast?" So there's a podcast of cat and it's not on a cat, on a hat, Cat in the Hat. You know, Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
So there's a Cat in the Hat podcast,
right?
Which is humorous to children and me alike. So yes, that's kind of on my level. And the suggestion was to do some sort of similar podcast for children on the sort of level of humor.
Okay,
that could be done. Yeah.
I feel like
But anyway,
I feel like that's a you project. Yeah.
yeah, very possibly. Anyway, come back to us with some questions, preferably about potatoes, because I bet you there's probably a great deal we know about potatoes. Then we can probably answer your questions, whether it be potatoes, bacon, or I don't know, burger related. Get in touch and we'll answer your. We are the brains trust of food.
Apparently, each potato will grow 7 extra potatoes.
Really?
So I'm told. Yeah. So when you go, you plant or you take out your potato, you harvest your potatoes.
Yep.
If you then replant them as new seeds, if you like, they will then grow 7 extra potatoes.
Yeah.
So no more and no less. So I'm
Really?
told. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like somebody needs to fact check that for me, but
Yeah.
that's what I was told. 7
Well, that's
potatoes.
fascinating. Although in turn, though, each potato will then have the potential to make 7 more potatoes.
Which leads me, which then begs me to ask the question: how many people were going to St Ives? It's the old thing, riddle, isn't
Right,
it?
yeah.
As I was going to St Ives, I met a man with 7 wives.
Okay.
Every wife had 7 sacks. Every sack had 7 cats. Every cat had 7 kittens. Kittens, cats, sacks, and wives. How many were going to St Ives? Answers in the comments.
Okay. So hang on. 42. So 49. So you got about 49 potatoes from one potato for the first 2 generations of potato. That makes sense.
Yep.
That's quite a lot of potatoes. That's that's got to be close to a sack of potatoes.
It's going to be 50 potatoes, isn't it? Because it includes the seed potato too.
Oh, you got that one as well. Yeah. 50 potatoes. Wow.
Yeah.
And then the next generation, wow. I mean, I can't even work that one out. A lot more.
49 times 7
is an
Hang on.
amount.
$36, $360, 423 potatoes.
Good work. Bex is back in the chat. She said, is it true you can't eat green potatoes? And then she's also said, impressive that you know that off by heart. What?
Assume the riddle, maybe.
The riddle. What was the riddle?
As I was going to St Ives, I met a man with 7 wives, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
How many going to St Ives? Yeah, it is a good riddle.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone knows the answer. Thanks, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Everyone knows the answer to that question now. I don't know. Can you eat green potatoes? I've never seen a green potato.
I've never seen a green potato.
Maybe the answer is no.
Go bad, they go. Well, hang on. You get green. They can go green if they're bad, can't they? Sometimes
brown.
you get a green. Yeah, but you know, if you're eating crisps, sometimes you get a green one.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I still eat it.
Killed me, so
yeah, I still eat it. It hasn't killed me yet.
Then again, I don't very often eat crisps. Are you a crisp eater?
No.
No.
It's weird. For someone who is as overweight as I am,
Yeah.
I don't eat crisps. I don't really eat chocolate unless I get a real craving for it, and then I'll go mad and buy loads of them. I don't really eat biscuits. It's just all bad fatty food.
Yeah.
Burgers, bacon, chips, curry.
Yep.
Chinese food.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to eat it all in one sitting because I don't want to reheat it later.
And that's all in one day.
Yeah, say that's just Friday morning.
Yeah.
No, I've never had a green potato, but yeah, no, I'm not really. I mean, I don't know. What's your snack food of choice, Ted?
I don't know. I was going to say when it comes to crisps, it's a weird one because I generally won't eat crisps, but if I have one bag of crisps, I find them very moreish. Yeah. So if I have one, I'll want more.
Yeah, I have an issue with crisps in that when you buy a bag, you're basically buying a bag of air.
Yeah.
And there aren't really many crisps in them anymore. And I love Pringles for that because it's basically the whole tube is filled with
That's a good
Pringles.
point. Yeah.
And I can destroy a tube of Pringles and then be satisfied. But I'm not. But it's literally true what they say. Once you pop, you can't stop. You have to keep. And it's like I'll get a big tube and I'll just eat the whole lot.
Yeah.
I have no self-control to stop eating Pringles.
And that is the reason why I would tend to get the small tube, because I know that it's gone as soon as I well, not as soon as I've opened it, but once it's opened, it's gone.
But even then,
they're quite handy for keeping things in, like little bits and bobs. So I've got one here, and I've got some bits and bobs in there. That was quite a handy place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was the question again? Oh, my snack of choice. I don't know. Do I snack? What would I snack? It depends where I am, of course. Like if I'm here for any length of time, perhaps doing some editing or something like that. I suppose biscuits. Sometimes I'll have some biscuits, but again, I'll either buy some biscuits and then eat them all in the space of a day and a half, or I'll not have biscuits and not think about biscuits for a week and a half.
See, that's why I don't buy biscuits, because they don't even last a day and a half. They're literally gone in. As soon as I bought them, as soon as I walk in the door at home, I'm then on the sofa and I'm eating biscuits. So I just don't bother buying them anymore, because I will just destroy them.
Yeah.
And I'd like to live for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know about snacks.
I'm not really a snack food kind of person. I'm just more of I'll always eat a meal.
Yeah, I'd rather have a meal.
I'll have a meal between meals. Some days, like I'll have breakfast. I'll have a bowl of muesli, and I'll feel great about it because I've had a relatively healthy breakfast. But then at 10 o'clock, I'm like, fancy some bacon. I'm going to make some bacon sandwiches. Or I'll cook up some sausages and bacon and have a sausage and bacon wrap with some cheese and ketchup.
I often think about the quite famous episode of Vicar of Dibley, where she goes to basically ends up having to have Christmas dinner at about 3 different people, 3 different parishioners. And I just watch that and I think, yeah, that sounds really good. I could eat that 3 times.
Yeah. If it's a set portion each time, yeah. If it's here's a metric fuck ton of food, go nuts. No, I'm dead after the first one.
Yeah. I had a burger the other day, and where was it? It was at the park.
Right.
And they do burgers, they do hot dogs, and they do other bits and pieces. But very often I'd have a hot dog. This time I had a burger. And I said, oh, this is actually a really good burger. It was a really good burger. And I ate it. And my first thought was, I could have eaten 2.
So can I have another one?
Yeah.
There used to be a truck or a food van in the town centre where I used to live. And they used to do a double cheeseburger for like £2.50. Massive thing it was. They were really tasty, like one of the best double cheeseburgers I've ever had. And every time I ate one, I was always like, I could really do with another one.
Yeah.
But they're massive. They're literally like, imagine, just think of any burger you get from a food van, how big they are. Like you're talking 2-hander kind of,
Yeah.
I'd always just fancy another one. I never bought another one. Mainly because I was also self-conscious about going back to order another one.
Yeah,
Because they're like, wait a minute, didn't you just order one?
Yeah.
Although in hindsight, again, 2020 hindsight, I could have been like, oh yeah, I gave it to the homeless guy around the corner, so now I want one for myself.
Oh, then you look good. And they might even say, do you know what? That one's on the house.
That's it. Then you look like a hero. Yeah. So that's what I should have done.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever given food to a homeless person?
No, nor have I lied about it either.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I have, not knowingly. I don't know how you do that by accident, but yeah. So burgers. I do think to myself, oh, but then that's the best kind of meal, isn't it? You eat the meal and then you think, I could eat that again. I get that a lot.
I get that, especially if it is something particularly tasty.
Yeah. Now, I've got a question about burgers. I know there's something in the chat, but quick question about burgers first of all.
Yep.
Increasingly, I find that we go somewhere, particularly if it's a bit artisanal, or like a what do they call these things? Gastropubs and things like that. And they try and make the burgers as interesting as possible, and they get taller and taller and taller. What's your feeling about this? Should they be taller, or should they be flat and just move outwards in terms of width?
Just get rid of the shit. Just give me the burger, the bacon, and the cheese, and I'm happy.
Yeah, but the thing is that the shit sometimes is more burger. So it might be like 2 or 3 patties. It might be a hash brown, stuff like that.
Oh,
I think maybe spray it out a bit, maybe.
It's difficult. The smash patty seems to be the mode of delivery these days.
Yeah.
Smash. That's it, a smash.
Smash.
And for those not in the know, that's where they basically just get the meat in a bowl, stick it on the grill, and just smash it down into a flat patty.
Smash that meat.
Smash the meat. I don't know. I think there's obviously a point where when a burger gets to a certain thickness, it stops cooking properly. So you have to flatten it and make it wider to have the same amount of meat, you know, and have it cooked properly. Because I'm also not into this medium rare burger thing.
No.
So do you remember when we first started the podcast and we went to London?
Yeah.
And a couple of places where I had a burger, it was almost cooked medium rare, and I'm like, the burger is pink, dude. It shouldn't be pink. You know, just what a ridiculous concept.
The only way that should work is if the mince is cooked and then assembled as a burger.
Yeah.
Because the thing with beef is, the reason why you can eat a steak where it's red on the inside is because it's sealed. The thing with mince is that it's not sealed if you just do the outside of it. So yeah, there we go. That's real food safety advice, and not something about washing a chicken.
Yeah, washing a chicken. But no, I think I don't know. But there's also kind of I feel there's a finite amount of real estate on a plate for burger width. Now, if the plate, if we're talking like a full-size dinner plate, and the burger is the width of the plate, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But also, there's also a thing about, meat to bread ratio. You don't want...
I don't want too much bread either.
No, see, I don't need an entire loaf of bread for my single or double burger patty. It just doesn't need to exist. It's why I also don't like Big Macs, apart from the fact that I just think they're trash anyway, but... Even if the burgers,
no need for that bread in the middle.
That's it. But even if the burgers tasted good, the bread in the middle is not necessary.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think fondly back at a time that we're probably, I don't know, gosh, could be 30 years ago. I don't know. I'm not even that old. But anyway, some time ago, back when I used to go to Little Chef. As a sort of late teen or whatever it was, they used to do something they called a Big 7 burger.
Yep.
And it was that thing. It was the wider burger, so it was flatter and wider rather than tall and loaded. And that was quite nice. But that was quite good because you cut it in half and you basically got two proper burgers. I mean, I do still cut burgers in half. Obviously not a Big Mac or something from McDonald's, but if I'm in a restaurant or something, I will cut a burger in half because it's just so much easier to...
It's easier to handle, and you don't look like quite such a pig just by picking up this massive burger, like shoving it right in your face. You're like, no, I've cut it in half first to make it more manageable. Yeah. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. Bex has been in the chat with something that's pretty much... hits the nail on the head in terms of the whole snack question. She says that your snack would be a Scotch egg. Yeah. That's correct.
Scotch eggs
is correct. So but that's the sort of thing that I would have rather than a biscuit or packet of crisps. I'd rather have a decent savoury thing that could be classed as a meal. And there we go. And the other thing that I would also have increasingly is, when you go to the shop and you go to the co-op or something like
Mhm.
that, you can get a little thing with a container, whatever thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
you get this thing, and inside the thing is 2 boiled eggs. I often have the 2 boiled eggs, and I always carry in a pocket somewhere. I always got a little bit of salt,
Okay.
and then I can have my boiled eggs and I have a bit of salt. But I do like an egg.
I quite like, but boiled eggs are simple, aren't they? And
Yeah.
they're tasty and they're convenient.
Yeah.
Especially like say if you're in a supermarket and you're just kind of going down the snack aisle and you're just like, you know what? I'll have a pack of boiled eggs. And
I'll
like
tell
you
you what
say,
I was
quick and
grateful
easy.
for. I'll tell you what I enjoyed and I was grateful for the other day. I was talking about having bits of party food and ice cream and jelly and things
Yep.
like that.
Mhm.
And it also involved very small sandwiches.
Ooh.
Of a party-sized sandwiches. Egg mayonnaise.
Mm.
Simple, delicious. It's exactly what you need. And very often, actually, I will choose, because you can get all sorts of sandwiches. If you go to the sandwich thing,
Yep.
if you're grabbing a meal deal or something like that, you go to the sandwiches and you get all sorts of things. You get prawn this and roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. You don't get that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Lots of variety. And sometimes I quite like just a simple egg and cress.
I haven't had an
Yes.
egg and cress sandwich for a long time, but yes,
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you on that one.
One of my favourite things is when you go to the petrol station that's got M&S attached to it, kind of M&S food.
Yep.
You go in there and it's like, I don't know, maybe a Sunday or something like that, and they've got reduced stuff, and you can pick up an egg and cress sandwich for like 20 pence or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, stock up on those.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
egg and cress, but so I was in.
Gives you an insight into my life, doesn't it?
Right. I went out to visited one of the offices for work last week, and there was, and they put lunch on for us. And what I find is these corporate lunches are just nonsense. They are the little quarter sandwiches that you get. Someone's made a sandwich and then cut them into 4.
Mhm.
Some of them are nice. Like I say, you get the egg mayo, you'll get coronation chicken, ham and cheese and tomato, and a few other varieties. And there's always a tuna in there as well. And I hate it when I mix up the egg mayo and the tuna mayo, because I fucking hate tuna. Anyway, but I'm looking at it, and there's like 12 of us in the room, and the food is laid out, and it's like, this is not enough food for 12 people. This is barely enough food for 6. And I feel like the amount of money you've spent on that, you could have just ordered a fuck ton of pizza for us. Because it's a special corporate lunch. So just buy the pizza, man. Let's get the pizza.
Yeah. What's interesting is where, particularly in the workplace, people say, "Oh, yeah, we're going to have a pizza party." It's not a party. It's just they've got a bunch of they've just got a few pizzas.
Yeah, someone's just bought
Not
a load of
necessarily
pizza.
ones you want either.
No.
Because there's not that much variety, and then there's always going to be somebody that's a vegan or a vegetarian. So then you end up with the boring ones, and the vegan. I mean, vegans, for crying out loud. I mean, they won't even have proper cheese, will they?
No.
They just don't have them in the workplace.
I'm not sure you would have to say that.
That's not official HR advice, but really, yeah. Yes, so pizza party. Yeah, anyway, here we go. We're back in the chat. Beck says, imagine if they made a sandwich that was roast beef and Yorkshire pudding instead of bread.
I mean, you can get those. You can basically get a roast dinner in a Yorkshire pudding wrap.
Yeah, it'd be a wrap, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they they turn the Yorkshire pudding into a wrap, and I've never had one, and I really want one because they sound amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like you say, it's just roast beef, roast potatoes, a bit of veg, a bit of gravy in a giant Yorkshire pudding, rolled up into a wrap, put into some foil, and you can eat it like a burrito. It's
Yeah.
apparently they're really, really good.
Yeah, burrito. That's what it would be. Yeah. No, I
mean, I
do
love
actually
burritos.
quite like I like a burrito, but yeah, a roast dinner burrito.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, I wouldn't be desperate to have it because I know what it would taste like.
True.
You don't really have to use your imagination for that one.
And I think that's why I haven't had one yet, because it's like, well, I know what a roast dinner tastes like, and all you've done is just pile it all into one easily consumed receptacle.
Yeah.
You know. My stepdad used to make like giant Yorkshire puddings, like big as your face kind of thing.
Yeah.
And would basically fill it with the roast dinner that way. Oh, so good. So good. Literally every bite has got a bit of Yorkshire pudding in it.
Yeah.
Which just makes everything better.
Yeah.
Yorkshire. There are two things in this world that make every meal better: Yorkshire pudding and bacon.
Yeah.
Add the two together. Wow. Just yeah. Did I tell you I made toad in the hole with bacon as well?
Did you?
Yeah, so I made toad in the hole, but I wrapped the sausages in bacon.
Right. Okay. Pigs in blankets in.
It was basically
a hole.
Yeah, pigs in blankets in the hole. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice indeed.
Nice indeed. Yeah. I've well, recently, in recent times, I've become quite reacquainted with the concept of going for a carvery.
Okay.
So I had a few carveries recently, which is always a nice thing. And there's a place not too far away that does the carvery, and they do quite big Yorkshire puddings. But like for £1 extra, you can get an extra 3 on a plate.
Ooh.
Now I haven't never done that because that's a bit overkill. But they do the same thing with pigs in blankets.
Nice.
So yeah, pay a bit extra, you can have extra pigs in blankets, which is nice.
I have a real love-hate relationship with carveries. Apart from the fact that I hate queuing for the food when I'm in a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's something I have a beef with.
Ah.
But it's that, and they just go, or they'll do something really stupid, like you'll say, "Can I have the gammon?" And then you go, "Can I have a Yorkshire pudding?" And they go, "No, that's only if you're having beef." And you're like, "Why? Give me a damn Yorkshire pudding, motherfucker!"
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Just give me a Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, and any roast, you have a Yorkshire pudding. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people used to say that, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know where this has come from.
Thinking, even at home, oh, we're having a roast dinner. I would hope that it was beef, because if it was beef, it would involve Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if it wasn't beef, it wouldn't have a Yorkshire, and that just seemed odd to me.
Yeah,
wrong.
Just like, no,
wrong.
I want a Yorkshire pudding. It's a way to fill out the meal in an inexpensive way.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of queuing either.
No.
But once you get toward the end of the queue, then I guess it's all gravy.
Hey.
See what I did there?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Are you a gravy fan?
I don't mind a bit of gravy. I'm quite selective as to what I put gravy on, though.
Okay.
Like,
tell us. What do you put gravy on?
Generally on the vegetables, because I'm not a big fan of vegetables, and I feel like gravy just changes the flavour into something nicer than vegetable flavour.
Yeah.
But it's like I quite like especially when you get gammon or pork or lamb. I don't want to put gravy on it. I like how it tastes already.
Yeah.
And it's why people look at me weird when I get a bacon roll or a sausage roll or something, and they go, "You're not going to put any sauce on that?" I'm like, "No, it changes the flavour, and I like the flavour as is. Thank you."
Yeah.
And I'm the same with gravy. I tend not to put gravy on the meat, and I think I do on beef every now and again. But no, generally no, it's just vegetables. But it can't touch. Depending on the quality of the roast potatoes, the gravy will not go on the roast potatoes either.
Really?
Unless they're not the best quality, and then I'll put gravy on them just to moisten them up a little bit. But when you get they're really crispy but also super fluffy in the middle.
Yeah.
They're the best, and I don't want to spoil it with gravy.
Yeah, I'm generally a gravy everywhere. But again, I like a bit of space without gravy. I want a dry area as well as wet area.
Okay.
That wasn't that funny. I tell you, the best thing actually, if you got a nice Yorkshire pudding that
Mhm.
has a void in it, then fill up your Yorkshire pudding with gravy.
Yeah, put a bit of
'Cause then
gravy in there.
yeah, I mean it's like you've done your gravy, but you've also basically got a little gravy boat
Yeah.
made of Yorkshire pudding that's also got gravy in
Like
it.
a little dipping pot, isn't it? So you get to
Yeah.
choose. You can dip your food in there if you really want. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you've eaten some, and then your gravy, the volume of gravy seems to have gone down at the same time.
Mm.
Then all you do, you cut into that Yorkshire pudding, and boom, the dam. It's like the dam busters.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 and a bouncing bomb. It's gone in and it's hit the dam, and hey presto.
Yep.
Dead Germans. No,
Dead
hey presto,
Germans.
you've got gravy all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
I don't mind a bit of gravy on like toad in the hole.
Yeah,
Again, because it can be a bit dry if you're not careful, or if you've done it not quite right, it could be a bit stodgy. So gravy just kind of helps there a little bit.
I do like a stodgy Yorkshire pudding.
I don't mind stodgy.
I don't like it when they're puffed up too much and it's just like, well, basically you got a shell. You just basically got some air.
Yeah.
I like a bit of stodge at the bottom.
Yep.
I like a stodgy bottom.
Hey.
Yay. something to get my gravy onto.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so that's roasts pretty much covered, I think. Oh, no, you were talking about sauce, and I was a bit dismayed because you said that you wouldn't have anything on a bacon roll. So you go dry with a bacon roll.
Yeah. Okay. The most I'll do for a bacon roll is add some butter to it,
Really?
and that is it. Yeah. I don't want sauce on my bacon.
Yeah. You see, if it's a bacon sandwich, then yeah, that makes sense because sandwiches you butter the bread anyway.
Exactly.
I would have tomato, not lots, but a bit of tomato ketchup with bacon.
Occasionally, I'll put if I'm making a breakfast wrap, I'll put a smidge of tomato ketchup in there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I have with tomato ketchup.
Fish fingers.
No.
Fish finger sandwiches I do with TK.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I put tomato ketchup with. Yeah, so that's what I had. If it's a sausage and mushroom sandwich, which I've now got a craving for massively, I must have a sausage and mushroom sandwich. Then there's no sauce; it's just pepper.
What a way to ruin a sausage!
What a great way to complement a sausage. And
no, a great way to compliment a sausage is like, hey, looking good.
Yeah, looking good there. Nice girth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one, whilst we're talking about sausage, whilst we're talking about sandwiches, is the if you got a hog roast. So if you got a pork sauce, a roll of pork, applesauce.
See, again, I'm not bothered by it. I like the taste of pork as is.
Yeah.
It's like when people put mint sauce with lamb, and it's like, okay, I mean, I can see it and I understand.
Yeah.
It's not for me. I like how lamb tastes. I actually, when I was up in Scotland, the restaurant we went to on the first night was it was quite an expensive steakhouse, and I had some like lamb chops, or I can't remember what they called it, but they're almost like miniature lamb chops on a bone.
Yeah.
My God, they were good. They tasted so good. But again, no sauces, no nothing. Just the way they'd been seasoned and cooked was perfect. It didn't need anything else. And then the same for the second night at the Indian restaurant. We got one of these like sharing platter things, and there was some like mini lamb chops on there as well, and they were good too. Forgotten how much I love lamb. Lamb is just it's so
Lamb's
good.
Lamb is good.
Like lamb burgers as well. If you get like minced lamb and make burgers out of it,
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
But with that, you can be a bit clever with it and just put a little bit of mint in there just to, again, season it a little bit. But it's like when people just smother their food in sauces. I don't understand that. And again, it's why I really don't like McDonald's. Because they just coat it in sauce, and that's all I can taste. I mean, the burgers don't taste of anything anyway, but they just smother everything in sauce, and that's all I can taste. And it's just not nice.
No, I'm like that when it comes to pasta. So if I'm doing like pasta sauce or something like that, I'm pretty sparing when it comes to the sauce, because otherwise you end up with, it's dripping in the stuff, and you don't get that at any sort of decent Italian restaurant. You get like a bit of sauce, and then it's just enough to sort of somewhat cover the pasta.
Yeah. To stop the
but
pasta from drying
but
out.
not dripping. Yeah.
Just stops the pasta from drying out. That's all.
Well, a bit of olive oil will do that. You can easily stop an entire pan of like spaghetti or something from drying out just by a little dash of olive oil. Just shoot it about.
I
Or
was
a
going
little
to
bit
say,
of butter or something.
do you put a teaspoon of olive oil in the pasta while it's cooking? Or do you do it afterwards?
Do it afterwards.
Right. I tend to do it while it's cooking.
Yeah.
Because then when you drain it out, it just all is kind of coated at that point.
Yeah.
That's my methodology, anyways. I'm not saying that's right or wrong or whatever. I do the same with rice as well, just to stop it from sticking.
Yeah.
So just literally a teaspoon of oil, vegetable olive oil, sunflower oil, whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
enough.
with the Greeks, they have the when you get Greek food, you get the rice. It tends to be, you get like buttered rice.
Yeah.
So a bit of butter does the same job.
Yeah.
Bex has been in the chat. She says, I think you should rename the podcast to something food related. I don't know about that. I mean, the thing is, if it's related to, if it's specifically about food, people are going to expect that we know something about food. They're going to expect some good takes on it, and to learn something. And we do not guarantee that.
We don't guarantee that anyway with anything that we say.
No. And I bet you, if we said, okay, we're going to have a food-related podcast, we would end up talking about something completely different. we would be, we'd be talking about cars or boats or birds or tortoise.
Yeah.
We
can make it food-related.
We could have a spin-off. We could have like Tuesday night dinner or something, where we do a spin-off show with a recipe and something like that. Anyway, no, they won't. Oh, hang on. Bex says, no, they won't. They will just expect you to talk shit about food for 2 hours.
Maybe.
Don't know where they'd get that idea from.
No idea.
Yeah. What's anyway, what's the big? We haven't got a big question. Nobody's come back to us in the chat with what the big question should be.
No.
We did cover bacon though, and I think the answer to the big question about bacon is back bacon. No. Get rid of back bacon. We don't even need it on the shelves. We should get people over to streaky bacon. Should always be streaky bacon.
Always streaky and always smoked. I know you'll disagree with that.
I would disagree with that, but that's fine. We've got plenty of space in the supermarkets for smoked and unsmoked if we just get rid of the back bacon. We get rid of the entire vegan section. Well, that creates space in the aisles as well, because there'll be fewer vegans.
Yeah.
They can go somewhere specialist for the, I don't know, medicated corn something or whatever they need.
So be careful where we're going with this one. We have nothing against vegans, except that they don't like bacon, which is a problem.
Which is a problem, yeah. Yeah. But no, it's more of a problem for them.
Exactly.
It's not a problem for us.
It doesn't bother me.
That's fine.
It's a problem for them.
More bacon for the rest of us.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I'd literally, if I had a vegan staying at my house, I'd be like, I'm going to make breakfast. They'd be like, oh, what are you making? Bacon? Oh, I'm a vegan. Okay, more for me then. Fine.
Yeah.
Supermarket's just down the road. You can buy your apples down there.
Do you know what? It's not even the bacon that gets me. It's it's cheese. Like, how can you live like that?
I don't know.
Well, what do you... No, I don't get it.
One of my problems at the moment is, because I think I'm lactose intolerant. Like every time I drink milk or eat cheese, it just messes with my system. So I think I've developed an intolerance to lactose or dairy.
When it comes to lactose.
What?
You're a bigot.
Sure. I don't really know what that word means. I've heard it
You're
used many
intolerant.
times.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah. Anyway. But to go to get like dairy free or lactose, it costs twice as much. It's so expensive. So I'm just going to keep suffering.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay double the amount for milk.
Yeah.
And screw oat milk and all that crap. It's just nonsense. Doesn't taste that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just keep suffering. I'll suffer for my art.
Yeah. Suffer for your fart.
Yes, I'll suffer for my fart.
Well, I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again, and I'm saying it now. I don't like fake stuff.
No.
So if it's fake, it's probably going to be crap. I'd much rather have the genuine article, even if I have to be sparing when it comes to the genuine article. Don't give me any kind of low fat spread. I'd rather have butter, even if it's a small amount. Then that's going to make me a lot happier. It's going to be a much better crumpet, and I'll just have the one.
Yeah, we like a bit of crumpet.
Yeah, like a bit of crumpet, especially if it's buttered up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice moist crumpet.
And hot.
Yeah, hot moist crumpet.
Hot moist crumpet.
I went to Co-op this morning.
Yeah.
Cooperative food. Other supermarkets were available.
Yeah.
And they had the Warburton's giant crumpets. Again, big as your face, kind of.
Yeah. Too much.
No, I don't think that's too much.
I think it's too much.
No, see, I'll just cook them one at a time. Have them one at a time. But again, you got to have butter on it. But then, because when you make crumpets, how many do you make in one go?
2.
Get one giant one.
Yeah, but the thing is, I could have 2, or I could have 3, or I could have 4. But that's kind of taken out of my hands. Because if I've got big ones, then I either have one big one or 2 big ones.
Or the 3 big ones, because they come in packs of 3.
Well, yeah, and it's either too much or too little. Interestingly, I will when it comes to Red Bull, other terrible drinks for you are available. When it comes to Red Bull, I get the small ones. I don't like the medium ones or the large ones because I think that's too much. And I would, even if they're on offer, even if it's the same damn price. And this is something that gets me when it comes to meal deals. If you go to Tesco and get a meal deal, very often the small can of Red Bull is in the meal deal. The big can of Red Bull is also in the meal deal, and the medium. I will still pick up the small because I want the small one.
Okay.
Why? Don't know. But I just feel like that's the right size.
Okay. It just doesn't feel economically sound at that point.
It's not economically sound. But you know what? It is, because that's what I want.
I mean,
if that's what I want, then...
and that's the thing. If that's what you want, then go for it. I've always, my parents, my stepdad for sure, was always, given it the whole, you should always be looking at the value of the food you're buying, and like he tries to work to the whole, £1. He spends £1 per person per meal, which used to work. I don't think that really works now. Food is actually quite expensive. But when I look at meal deals, I'm always looking to how I maximize that investment.
Yeah.
If it's the sausage, bacon, and egg triple, so there's 3 halves of a sandwich there. I will go for that over something that looks a bit more premium.
Yeah.
Because I feel I'm maximizing my investment. Or I look at the individual price tags and think, well, I'm going to save much more money if I get, the chicken triple. And the Cornish pasty, like you can have a sausage roll against a sausage roll or against a Cornish pasty. Well, the Cornish pasty is more expensive and there's more of it. I'm maximising my investment by getting the Cornish pasty.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the drink, sure, I can have a little can of Red Bull or I can have a big can of Monster. I'm going to go for the big can of Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, more often than not, when I'm buying a meal deal now, I'm buying iced tea. I quite like iced tea.
The thing is, you can do that, and of course you can do that. You can find out what will give you the most in terms of bulk, or look at the prices and think, well, actually, if I was buying those individual items, this would be the best way of doing it. But actually, that could be quite a 2-dimensional way of looking at it. The other thing you've got to bear in mind when we're talking about value, it's not necessarily value in terms of money. It's the value to you. It's what you
Well, that's it.
want. And therefore, the value to me, a higher value is a small can of Red Bull over a larger can of Red Bull, because there's that human element, and that's me thinking I want to have the small drink.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's it. It's all down to you as the individual and what you prefer. And that's what I was getting at. Like I say, it's, the way I look at it is I'm looking at maximizing investment. If I'm spending money on a meal deal and I can get more food that in theory should last longer, it doesn't, but it should last longer. I think that's more value for money for me. But you, like you say, you want a smaller drink, so you get the small can of Red Bull, and that's okay too. Yeah. Some people will get a meal deal and will have a bottle of water with it. Yeah. I have a real issue with buying water in a bottle when I can get it from the tap for free. Well, indirectly for free. Yeah. I still have to pay the water bill. But, why should I pay for water when I can just get it out of the tap? Yeah. Well, you can get it for free from somebody else's tap. Exactly, yeah. You fill up at work or something like that. There you go. Still get it from work. Exactly. Yeah. So walk into a pub or a restaurant and say, I would like a glass of tap water. Yeah, tap water, please. Free, completely free. Yep, tap water, please. And that's it. Yeah. So I have a real issue with paying for water in a bottle. In some places, you probably need to do that. I mean, it's like, again, when I went to America, it is the norm to buy bottled water out there. Because they do not clean their water as well as we do. Right. So it is better to buy bottled water. But it tastes funny. Bottled water tastes funny. I mean, water tastes weird to me anyway. It's not a nice taste. Yeah. My nan used to argue with me. She'd be like, but water doesn't taste of anything. It does. If you know it's there. I'm not. I'll tell you what. When it comes to water, if I'm really, really thirsty and it's really hot, then there's nothing better than a bottle of water that's cold. Yeah, out the fridge. Yeah, it'll be absolutely superb, brilliant. But any other time, any other scenario, I'm not a fan. I'd much rather have some kind of juice, some kind of taste, other than that, as you say, that taste of water, whatever it may be. But I'd much rather have something that's a bit more tasty. Yeah. I quite like the flavored waters because they're sort of, there's something there. It's not too overpowering. Like strawberry flavored water. Was it a Volvic or something like Volvic's that? Touch of fruit, isn't it? Yeah. And they have like strawberry. I think they have a peach one as well. Yeah. Orange, lemon, I think they have loads of them now. Yeah. If you get that and sugar free, then it's basically as good for you as water. Exactly. You get over that whole waters should be free because it's got some flavor to it. Yeah. And also, even if it's not absolutely ice cold, it's still okay because it's flavored. Yeah. Yeah. It's still refreshing to some degree. Like I say, that's why I quite like this peach iced tea stuff because it's refreshing. Tastes nice. I like that stuff. Yeah. It's although it's got quite a bit of sugar in it, but whatever. Yeah, I probably shouldn't drink it. I like the Littman's iced tea. Found a raspberry one the other day. Yeah. So the two common flavors for Lipton's iced tea is lemon and peach iced tea. But I found a raspberry one the other day. I can't remember where, but I remember it tasted really nice, and now I can't find it anywhere. Yeah. Which is really annoying because it was really good. I like raspberry flavor drinks. As weird as that sounds. Like you can get some energy drinks come in like a raspberry flavor. They're not too bad. Raspberry and peach are my two favorite fruit flavors for drinks. There you go. I know you didn't want to know that, but now you do. But the most common ones are orange and apple. I'm not a fan of orange. I don't like orange squash. I don't like that. No, I like apple juice. But yeah, peach is okay. Raspberry, I don't think I'm really happy much into. But then raspberry is a good flavour for things because people have raspberry sauce on your 99. Yep. Your ice cream. Yep. You have raspberry jam. You have raspberries off a bush. Yep. You have your raspberry flavoured applesauce in your donuts. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a good. What do I have? What's the J2O I like? Apple and raspberry.
Apple and raspberry, yeah.
Yeah, apple and raspberry. So there you go. There's another example. I do like J2Os, but they're bloody expensive for what they are.
They're really expensive and they go down too easily.
Oh, so easily.
You could just neck a
I
J2O
would drink
and
it in no time at all.
and it's a lot of money to spend for something you're just going to neck.
Yeah, it's a very expensive thing to do. Yeah.
I find that with a lot, especially if you are really thirsty. Like I say, one of these. I mean, Wednesday night, I had one of these in my car, and it was really, really hot in my parents' house. So when I went outside to vape, I actually went to my car to get my other bottle of iced tea. It was gone in seconds, and I just went, "Well, that was a waste of £2, wasn't it?"
Yeah.
When what I should have done was get some water out the tap and drank that instead. But
yeah.
what are you going to do?
Well, quite. I try and get as much variety as possible when it comes to beverages, and that way, it ruins any kind of brand loyalty. Because I've spent so long just drinking Coke all the time, and that's not good for you.
No.
And other stuff isn't good for you as well, like Red Bull and stuff like that. But if you mix it up, then you've got more chance of being able to reduce the amount that you have of certain things.
You also avoid flavour fatigue as well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, I've got a Monster Energy on the go right now, and it's like, I like them, but there was a point where I was drinking this particular flavour constantly.
Yeah.
And it just got boring after a while. I felt fatigued by it, so then I had to find something else. And then they released a mango. See, I like mango flavour as well.
Yeah.
Anything mango flavoured, I'm all over that.
Yeah.
Like I said, so the squash that I buy from the supermarket is apple and strawberry in the red variety, or orange and mango for the yellow variety. I do like mango flavour stuff. I like mangoes on their own, but I find they're better when they're mixed with something else. Now, if you get mango and pineapple, I'm there. I'm all over that shit. Mango and pineapple. I like pineapple flavour stuff.
Yeah.
Exotic fruits. There you go. That's probably the best way to put it.
But I'm also, I don't know, I do like a variety of different things. Lucozade is another thing, but again, that these things sort of come in waves, and I like all about the Lucozade, and then I'll move on to something else. Quite like chocolate milkshakes every now and again.
Not really into chocolate milkshake. Strawberry though. Strawberry milkshake. Love it.
So good. Yeah. But yeah, obviously you've always got that full. But then I found with Coke, I want it to be absolutely freezing cold. I want it to be really, really cold.
Yeah.
But the good thing about it is, when it comes to brand loyalty, the good thing about it is it's always the same wherever you go.
Yep.
So if you go abroad and you go somewhere hot, and then you see a Coke in the fridge,
Coke is
that's
Coke.
the best thing ever.
Yeah, Coke is
So
Coke.
like, yeah, you know exactly what you're getting, and it's always right. And that is good. Right. Bex has been in the chat, said Rubicon mango juice is yummy.
That's another one. I can just drink it like water. I'll open a can of Rubicon mango and it's gone in seconds.
Yeah.
Because
is it flat?
It's sort of. It's kind of. It's not quite. It's not fizzy like a Coca-Cola, but it's not completely flat.
Yeah.
But so I can drink it like water.
I'll tell you something about Lucozade. Talking about fizziness, I find Lucozade very fizzy, like too fizzy.
Yep.
So I always drink it from a glass. Very rarely would I have it from the bottle, just because I want the bubbles to go. And very often I'll pour it from a very high height, just to really get rid of the fizz.
Yeah, purposely to get rid of the bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. No, Rubicon mango. I really like Rubicon mango, and I found some places you can buy it in the 2-litre bottles, like you could with your Cokes and Pepsis and whatever. But again, it doesn't last long in my house because I like it that much.
Yeah.
You can get it flat in a carton apparently.
Okay.
Is that the Rubicon or Lucozade? Thanks.
Must be the Rubicon. It can't be Lucozade. You wouldn't
No.
get flat Lucozade.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like letting fizzy drinks go flat.
Mm.
Like
You got to
coconut.
have a hobby, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mm.
Other than drums. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, I do find disappointing. I like. I mentioned apple juice. I like the really nice pressed apple juice.
Yep.
But it goes so quickly, and you get a massive bottle, and you drink to fill up a pint glass of that. You can only do it a couple of times, and it's all gone.
Yep.
And it's bloody expensive.
Yep. Again, this is why I don't really buy pop or anything like that. I just can't, because if I buy a bottle of Coca-Cola, Pepsi Max is my preference.
Yeah.
Rubicon, even lemonade, it's gone after 4 glasses.
Yeah.
It's just gone. I love getting my orange and mango squash and then putting lemonade in it.
Yeah.
It's just so refreshing, especially during the summer. It's so refreshing. But literally, I'll pour a glass, and again, I've just drunk it in seconds.
Yeah,
because it tastes really good and it's very refreshing. So,
yeah.
There you go.
So one of the presents I got for my recent birthday was like an ice cube tray.
Yeah.
But it's cats.
Okay.
So so I'm gonna have an ice cube cat. So I'm looking forward to filling that up and getting it frozen, and then having some cats. Cause I do like a cold drink.
Ice cube cats.
Yeah.
They make rap songs and occasionally star in movies.
Yeah. Cool cats. 3 cool cats. Yeah. So anyway, talking of presents, I'm thinking before we say where we can be found, should we finish on another dad joke?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I was going to make some terrible comment then, but I'm not going to. About finishing. No. Anyway, so go on. Here we go.
My wife threatened to leave me because of my disgusting habits. I was so shocked I nearly choked on my toenails.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's okay. We're gonna end.
Yeah, we will end on that. That's something to take home with you. Anyway, it's been an absolute delight as ever. But don't forget, even if you buggered off out of the chat early to go and eat, or whether you were in the chat or whether you've got comments to make, you can still make comments in all the appropriate places. You could, of course, DM. You can DM me at Ted James Media. You can DM CJ at CJ Brooks FM. Or you can email us at
CJ and Ted at thetuesdayshow.co.uk.
That was slick. And we're going to slick away, and we'll see you all on next Friday for the Tuesday Show live, Friday Night Live.
Yep. Next week.
Until then.